Okay, so I have to talk about this particular case. I really feel for this particular person. This is a United States veteran. He served in the military and he is currently being detained. He does have a charge that he was convicted of in 2011. He is a legal resident. He is not an illegal immigrant. He didn't come here illegally. Not only that, he served 3 tours, okay, in war. And so there is a program where you serve in the military and you can, eventually become a United States citizen. However, even though you're a legal resident, if the law as it is written, if you commit a crime, you can lose that status. However, I think that, they should take that amount of time. They should do that within a certain period of time. And according to, if this, article is presenting all the facts correctly, he received a letter of no interest by ICE. Well, I personally attended a swearing in and becoming a United States citizen ceremony with a friend of mine. She had served in the military, and it took her a long time, but she got her citizenship. And so I, in Muskogee, Oklahoma federal courthouse, was honored, and I mean honored, to attend to watch an entire group of people take the oath and say their pledge and become a United States citizen. I think that was one of the most beautiful memories as a citizen that I have, right? To witness that, just to see people from around the world become a citizen. But there are hiccups along the way when somebody becomes a resident. They come in and they serve in the military, they serve honorably, and this guy has a brain injury and PTSD from his service at war. And so he had a nonviolent drug charge from 2011. We're talking, that's many years ago. And so they're talking about deporting him. And I'm just like, oh, just pray for mercy for him. This is just so sad. I just don't, like, I get it that the law is the law. And the law says, if you are a legal resident, you come in here to serve in the military or do whatever program you're here to get your citizenship, and then you violate the law, the way the law is written, you can lose your status, and that's the law. And honestly, I could not imagine going to another country and then just thinking I can break the law and then not be held accountable to the way their law is written and lose that status, right? I just wouldn't do that. But nonetheless, I mean, aren't we supposed to be merciful? And this guy has served 3 tours, and to sacrifice his health, his life for serving the country that he wanted to become a citizen of. I don't like the way that they're presenting this article, though. They're not presenting the law as it's written, warning people that even if you're a legal resident, you can lose that status. So don't go out and, become a criminal, But this guy, I mean, a lot of veterans turn to drugs when they're struggling with PTSD. And I'm not making excuses, okay? I'm just trying to be merciful and compassionate, right? And it's just sad. So I just pray for this man, okay, to have mercy, that he will not be deported, and that he will continue to get the treatment that he needs. I mean, it's just sad. And I think that they need better legislation when it comes to, like, there needs to be a time frame. Like, if somebody who comes here and they're in the, becoming a citizen program, serves in the military, and yes, under the laws and the statutes, if you're a legal resident, you can lose that status. There needs to be a time frame of which they take action from the time they commit the offense. They shouldn't just keep something hanging over their head that when the political winds change based on who's in office, there needs to be a time frame. They can do better with their legislation. Okay? And I'm outraged at Congress. Both parties have been accountable. They're the responsible, and they should be held accountable for the amount of people that have come in here, okay, to allow them to come in violation of the federal statutes, instead of just changing the law, because there's a cap. There's literally a cap. So here's how it works. When people need to come in as refugees, there is an amount that they're allowed every single year, and it's in like a couple 100,000, and it's set by Congress because they have to appropriate funds for that. That's why now you see all this complaining about the amount of money that's being used on immigrants, and it's like, okay, because it's not legal, because the appropriations for the amount of immigrants can only be to the amount of the cap that's allowed by the statutes, and they're not talking about that in the media. In the media, all that you hear about is money being wasted and blah blah blah, and well, that's Congress's fault. And I'm talking about both Republicans and Democrats who watched all these people coming in by the millions, knowing what's going to happen when the winds turn, that they're just going to be like turned out, or there's going to be out there at the border, okay, because Congress did not do anything to stop the violation of the law. And to share that in the media that, oh, by the way, there's actually a federal statute that says there's a limit on the amount of refugees that can come in. It's set by Congress, and the president is bound by law to go by how many Congress can say can come in and apply for a refugee status. So it's a couple 100,000, literally, but they came in by the millions. So then instead of just changing the law and allowing exceptions to have a special emergency here, it's like, oh, we have a war going on over here, we need to bring in a few hundred more thousand or whatever, and just increase the amount that's allowed and then appropriate accordingly the funds or whatever. They don't do that. They just use shenanigans and just violate the law, and there's just such disregard for the law in our country. It's just becoming a chaotic mess. And so now you end up with people like this who's caught up, who just really and truly, if they were going to do anything, should have been like, I don't know what, 2011, 15 years ago, 14 years ago. And so anyways, pray for this man. Has a brain injury and PTSD. He served 3 tours for our country. And I don't know what prevented him from going to the next step, from becoming a legal resident to get his citizenship. I don't know if his felony prevented him from getting a citizenship. I don't know. But just pray for him. Okay.